There have been some huge new world leaks when it comes to Season 10. We've seen glimpses of the new zone, the new architecture, and a probable level increase. But there is a slight problem here. I have to tread a little bit carefully. Whilst this information is out on a lot of Discords, it's not going to be on the Reddit because the Reddit is pretty favorable to the New World devs, so they're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. And it's obviously not going to be on the official Discord, and it's not on any website. It's very possible that if I displayed the screenshots, Amazon could be like, nope, we don't like that video, take it down, DCMA, whatever the hell it is, right? So I'm going to be very careful about what I present here. However, the leaks are in several people's Discords, and I was talking about them on stream today, but I feel like a video is slightly different. This is a little bit different from the Outpost Rush map that has also been leaked. Let's jump in, let's talk about it specifically one by one. Massive spoilers in this video, by the way. So the first leak that I saw was a screenshot of the map, and there were some things that were a little bit unusual about it. One of the first things that I noticed was the new town is Dunwood, except it's not called Dunwood. It appears to be that it might be called Nighthaven, and it is in that slot that's just a little bit south of Brimstone, but slightly to the west. Now, I'm not going to go through everything, but there's reasons to think that it's true, reasons to think that it might not be true. The TLDR, I guess, is 1, there appears to be some kind of identification that someone is trying to scrub off. 2, it has the Night Vale Hollow, which will probably be live in October. 3, they actually have like in the background a place that I've never seen in New World before. 4, they've also up-leveled Brimstone, which would be a weird thing to do. 5, they've actually increased the size of the map icon, which happens when you mouse over a zone. There's just lots of little details that if you investigate, makes me think this is real. And I just mentioned a level up level of Brimstone, and that's because it looks like the new zone's going to be 65 to 70. So it looks like we are going to get a level increase. Brimstone is also going from 60 to 70. I'm not quite sure why. There doesn't appear to be any other changes to any other zone, but those are the two that are on the map. There are reasons to be skeptical of that specific image as well. A lot of the teleports are very close together. It's a screenshot of a screenshot. We don't really know the source and stuff like that. But the reason to be skeptical kind of go out of the way with the other images that I've seen. There's been an image which is basically the inside of an inn, which very much appears to be the town. I suspect that either the town is called Dunwood and the region is called Nighthaven, or they've just ditched Dunwood as a name because Dunwood was just maybe like a placeholder. There's also another screenshot that I've seen where it's basically, it looks like very architecturally gothic, but it looks like they're walking up to effectively a big building, and in the other side of the building appears to be an instance. That screenshot I actually don't like. Again, I'm not probably going to show you that one, and I'm not going to show you the one inside the inn. But that screenshot, I don't really like the aesthetic, to be honest with you. It also has a statue. It has the statue that you can get. That's like called the carved statue of Caesar or something. But in both of those images, they do have a level bar and it's partly filled and they're going past level 65. That could be faked, I guess. Now, personally, I think it would be incredibly difficult to fake a screenshot of New World with like AI or something. Like, of course, AI will eventually be able to do that. But right now, it would be very obviously not New World. It's just got a specific style and the AI cannot replicate it exactly. I mean, if you think it can, go ahead and try and post it in my Discord. I'd love to see it. So I think at this point, I believe these leaks. And I think level 70 now is incredibly likely. And the aesthetic, by the way, overall, I might not like that one image, but overall, it's very gothic, very vampire. Nighthaven, of course, hints at vampires. So yeah, everything is looking pretty decent. Well, not everything. I don't like that one image, but generally, it's looking pretty damn good. The vibes are immaculate, you might say, and it does look like we are going to level 70. Now, there is another screenshot, which is basically a very weird talent tree of Daggers. Now, we believe that Daggers aren't actually coming at the launch of Season 10, but is coming sometime after, shortly after, I think they said. Now, what do we learn about Daggers? Pretty much absolutely nothing. Apparently, it's going to scale off strength, but that could very easily be a placeholder. And a lot of this actually is placeholders. It's got images from the Greatsword, Ice Gauntlet, and the bow in there. There's a lot of placeholder. They do mention a weapon ability, which is called Stealth. Now, they have it like really weirdly laid out in the game as it was when this screenshot was taken, because they have it saying like Stealth is going to last 30 seconds. And then that's if you're out of combat, but if you're in combat, it'll be 6 seconds. Then they say you'll actually be slow when you are in combat. But then it has this weird text where it's like, oh, but not really because it's bugged at the minute. And some people are looking at that being like, this is obviously fake, right? Nothing about this is real. It's obviously fake. But for me, that's exactly how a work in progress build might look. None of the icons are in place. The text is placeholder, obviously. The more scuffed it is in a way, the more I believe that, because it's obviously work in progress. And if you were trying to make a fake, you'd make it like the others, which are pretty immaculate, right? Everything logically makes sense. But stealth appears to be coming. Daggers appears to be coming. It seems like that's the next weapon, I guess. And that's all that you can really identify in the leaks. I don't think there's anything pretty crazy there. I'm sorry if I didn't show you all of it. The next bit I pretty much can show you though, and that is the reveal of the new Outpost Rush map. And of course, spoilers here. The new Outpost Rush map is one that was titled Vertical, and it very much has a gothic theme. Now, the actual images from this comes from Ginny and the New World Buddy Discord. And the reason that this is a little bit different from the other leaks, those other leaks are from like an NDA beta, right? Maybe friends and family. Maybe it's the devs, maybe it's the devs' friends, maybe it's content creators who aren't me, definitely not me. I don't have an NDA with them. That's why I'm making this video. Whereas what Ginny has done here from New World Buddy is he's looked what's in the game right now, because we know Outpost Rush is going to have a preview in season 9. Probably once season 10 has actually been revealed. And what he's done, and I'm simplifying, is basically create his own version of the assets in Blender. Well, he's taken the assets, taken the textures, and then rendered them in Blender. I don't know any more than that. I don't know how it works more than that, but that's what you see in the images. You can kind of make out, and it's a little bit awkward for me to annotate this, so you're just gonna have to go with me, but on some of the images on the left or the right, you can see where the entrances would be. You can also see where the flags would be. The middle flag will obviously be in the middle. And then there's these sort of like 2 enclosed areas where it looks like the other 2 points will be. Interestingly, on a lot of these images, you do see like the power-ups and the jump pads, which could be the first time we see it in Outpost Rush, but could also hint that they might use this map for capture the flag. It might be that certain areas of the map can be like condensed, and maybe well, excluding the middle point, but maybe the other 2 points could be where the flag spawns and you just have to, you know, do a classic capture the flag there. But overall, the Gothic architecture, everything is lining up. There's gargoyles, and there was actually some art on somebody's website, on like one of the art stations like pro portfolios of Dunwood stuff, and it had the gargoyle. The gargoyle appears to be in Outpost Rush, so everything is sort of making sense. And yeah, I gotta tell you, I really like the look of this new Outpost Rush. We're probably going to be playing this in September, I would hazard a guess, so yeah, get excited for that. A lot of images there by Ginny. Fantastic work again putting that together. It looks really, really good in my opinion. Looks like there's going to be verticality both in the middle and around the sides. Not sure if we'll be able to get into the little towers and stuff like that, but you know, really cool. Honestly, these leaks, the implication is probably bigger than anything. I believe those earlier leaks. I believe level 70 now. Of course, it's not 100% guaranteed, so keep that in mind. But the images, honestly, if you do see them, they are very, very convincing. Or at least some of them are more convincing than others, and they all seem to be from the same person. But the level 70 implication is huge, because that does really imply like an expansion level of content. It may be that the professions are going up, the attributes will be going up, gear score is pretty much, sure it's going to 800. Yeah, like season 10 is sounding like an absolute banger. I do apologize for being a little bit of a coward and not showing you all the screenshots. If they were on a website like Reddit or something, I would have shown you them. But the fact that they're in other people's discords and people are just DMing each other means that really I could be held liable, or not liable, I don't know what this phrase would be, but they could be like, no, you're actually doing something you shouldn't, and you can't prove that it wasn't you, and you didn't know that they were under NDA and stuff like that. If they were everywhere, I would show you them, but they're not really everywhere, so I'm just talking about them. So I do apologize for that. But honestly, everything that I saw simply made me more excited. The only issue is that Amazon Games obviously want to do their trailer and want you to be hyped that way. They don't really want idiot YouTubers leaking all of their stuff. Although it's not really me, that's the issue. It's whoever leaked it the first time and whoever's NDA has been breaking. I don't have an NDA. I don't have access to the test server. I'm not involved with Amazon, so I can tell you. But I got to tread a little bit carefully. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe.